Now let's get right to Brian Nagel, Managing Director at Oppenheimer, to talk about Nike. Now the Nike story is such an interesting one. It's selling off today, at least it was a short time ago, and it was taking down Dick's and Lulu and Skechers, and they were all to the downside. There was so much concern about the supply chain, it's restraining business to a certain extent. You keep an outperform here and a 195 target. You still like Nike, right?
Go ahead, Nicole. Thanks for having me. Absolutely. We very much like Nike here. And I've been talking to a lot of our clients. Really, the company reported last night. So I was talking to them last night and through the day today. And, my point is this. These pressures impacting Nike are external. They are transitory. They will go away. Behind this, Nike is performing extraordinarily well. The company was very clear on its conference call last night to point out, by many different measures, that underlying demand, consumer demand for its products is extraordinarily strong, historically strong. So we think once these supply chain issues abate, and they will, a much stronger Nike will emerge. I think that's going to propel the stock higher.
I love that you're on the call, you're talking with the company. It really gives us something to sink our teeth into, that this seems at least a little bit temporary, right? So when you talk about the demand, how does it stack up to the peers, the athleisure space, the competition? Does Nike need something new and great to propel it as a catalyst, or is it just it has great demand and that's enough?
No, look, that's a great question. So, if I step back a bit, and one of the ways I've been positioning our ratings within my consumer coverage is, kind of picking sectors that I think are real winners, or subsectors that are real winners. The athleisure space, to me, is extraordinarily well positioned. What's happening is, especially as the economy pulls away from the COVID crisis, you've got more people dressing casually. I think that's going to last. Okay, that lends to companies like Nike, like Lululemon, like Under Armour. The other big trend is more people are shopping online, at least in whole or in part. Okay, Nike is very much a digitally driven company at this point. So that's from a business model perspective. I think that's why Nike sets up well here. Competition wise, look, there's a lot of competition out there. Nike, to me, is a market share grabber within the space. But look, the market share is coming from some potentially odd places. Traditional sellers of clothing. As the consumer is now dressing more casually, Nike, with its offering, is taking market share there. You asked about innovation. Nike's been on this wave of innovation now for at least a few years. The product coming out of Nike is incredible. And I think one real testament to that is, and again, this was mentioned on the conference call last night, the full price sell-through. Nike is able to sell, very effectively to consumers product without having to discount. And to me, that's a very clear indication that the innovation coming out of the companies and the consumer's reception to this innovation.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, right? If you don't have to discount, you can really have better operating margins, right? Better margins overall when you're not selling, at a cheaper price. So that's the first part of that. And the athleisure group, as you said, well positioned because that's where the demand is. Now, I don't know if you cover the others that you mentioned, Lulu and Under Armour. Do you like those? Do you have ratings on those as well?
So I do cover them, and I'm recommending them both with outperform ratings, which is at Oppenheimer. That's our equivalent of buy. So I basically got buy ratings on Nike, Lululemon, and Under Armour. And I make the point that Under Armour is really what I view as the compelling turnaround story within the space, whereas Nike and Lululemon are much more established, well-run companies.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a great space. I mean, my son got these sneakers that you put on a pad and they charge and then they lace up themselves or something. I don't know. He was the most excited. I don't ask too many questions, but I know once in a blue moon, he loves to have something extra special. Brian, thank you. It's nice to have you on the show. Come back soon. Brian Nagel, Managing Director at Oppenheimer. Great to talk with you, Brian. Thanks.